Hey everybody, Gatsby here. This is the third time I've tried to make this video because I wind up doing that ADHD thing of wanting to explain everything further in a little aside that produces more context when more context isn't necessary. I'm going to try really hard to just sort of tunnel vision myself into showing you what I wanted to show you. So, here it goes. Zoom. On this channel, we typically talk about Holofoil. Holofoil is visually inspired by classic Game Boy games, but mechanically inspired by games like Fez and games like Tunic, and thematically and narratively inspired by weird shit. So it's something that you guys have expressed interest in seeing me to continue to work on, and I actually really do want to continue to work on it. Problem is that it started as a portfolio piece to try and help get me a job. And I got a job, and I've got to try to work to keep that job, and that job is keeping me extremely stressed out to the point that I have not been able to focus on Holofoil. So I wound up taking a couple of asides to work on some other things to continue to try to find jobs other than the one that I have right now, because I'm not enjoying it. I'm not passionate about it. People I work for make me feel stupid. I'm not stupid. I have to remind myself constantly to be proud of the things that I have accomplished, and it is hard for me because I have a lot of imposter syndrome and a lot of fear of failure, and there are things that I'm really bad at. There are things I'm really good at. Right now, this job is making me feel like I'm bad at everything, and that's not fair because look at all this. You know, like, I have worked at Space Captain Aviation Challenge. I have been a public school teacher. I have 11 years of content creation experience. I've been a pharmacy technician in a hospital for some reason. Let's get rid of that. I hated that job. I went from that to operations specialist. I loved that job. That job was at a business-to-business startup. Hold on. That job's over here. Yeah, I'm very capable. I've done a lot of wild stuff. I was our only customer service representative for a long time. I managed the input of all of our production SKUs so that we could sell games. I managed our influencers and developed instructional assets and promotional assets, and I developed best practices seminars, and I delivered best practices seminars. I used AI to improve our processes. I pitched the termination of business relationships so that we can improve our overall public reputation. I handled a lot of launches of different partnerships that we had. You know, like, there's a lot of stuff in here. And they gave me the title Operations Specialist so that they could sabotage me from ever getting another job again. Operations Specialist doesn't cover it at all. I'm beginning to understand why people lie on their resumes, even when they're extremely talented. Because how else are you supposed to find a job? So, I have already lost track of what the hell I was talking about. This program that you're in right now, I made it. It's called SpiderBrain. It's a terrible name, and I've already been told it's terrible. But the thing is that to try to keep myself sane and to hopefully get myself a different job when I don't have experience in those fields, I need to try to show that I can do that work. So, over the years, I made a lot of content on YouTube that people really enjoyed, but it never took off. I started this channel and was going to try to do video essays on that channel, and I developed an application in Unity to film those video essays with something that resembled classic Doom, and it was just driving me insane. I shifted gears, started working on an AI-based improvised narrative generator type thing. That was fun, but eventually I discovered a thing called Dyad, which is a free alternative to another service called Lovable, and it is basically the AI that's helping you code connected to a program that does the coding. So between that and ChatGPT helping me when it fails, and me occasionally actually having to Google it or talk to a human, which is awful, I was able to put together this. It is mind mapping, personal knowledge management, sort of like Miro, or I don't know. Padlet does stuff like this too. And Eventually, I want to add a little AI agent that you can ask questions about your information. I had something like that in the previous build, but it didn't have the mind mapping stuff. And so I've done all this to sort of demonstrate what it can do. It's got little connections, it's got checkboxes, it's got colored notes that retain their color whenever they're dragged in. Also, you're going to lose your mind. Are you ready? You're not ready. All right. So, you see how that ate one of those? That was not what I was trying to show you. That's a bug. All right. You ready? Here we go. Where'd the subnotes go? They're still there. You can nest any note inside any other note. And you can see that entire hierarchy over here of notes nested in notes. Most of these are only like one level deep. I know I have some that are deep. Yeah, there we go. So I have that whole breakdown of what Bastard Sword was about. I got this whole breakdown of what Holofoil was about. Again, the goal eventually is to have it to where it's structured in a way that a little AI spider can literally crawl across your canvas and put together the information that's relevant to your question. Obviously, right now, it's something that you could easily do with real-life paper and real-life strings, but who wants that? Not me. But yeah, in an ideal world, I could get a job in narrative design because it's my favorite thing, but I have no actual formal education in narrative design, and I have no work experience in narrative design outside of my, frankly, failed YouTube channel. So all I know to do is try to put all that out in an extremely detailed format to say, I promise I've got a lot of experience doing this, even if people... Well, I can't even say they didn't like it, because they loved it. They liked it a lot. I just couldn't get it out there. It wasn't viral. And of course, I was a teacher. This knowledge is my only formally educated knowledge, and I find that it helps me a lot, but it is not necessarily respected everywhere I go. For example, in my current job, the actual like coaching and training process has been awful, and I have been honestly scolded like a little child for making mistakes that are the consequence of honestly needing more practice and more formative assessment, and I didn't get it, so I'm the bad guy. I don't know. I miss teaching. I don't miss teaching. I miss this job. But say la vie. Take what you can get. Unless it's corrections officer. I do not want to take that again. But yeah, I'm going to make a link to this application so that you can try it out yourself. Right now, it doesn't have the AI hooked into it, so I don't have to worry about the API calls destroying me financially. So why don't you give it a shot? And I'll put a little donation button in the corner. So if you want to see more of that, or if you want to see me surviving by eating groceries, you can donate to it. Anyway, thanks so much. I'm doing the best that I can. Bye.